Well, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that Candace Owens has been keeping a secret from every single one of you. And what was that secret? It appears that Candace Owens received a phone call from someone in the White House saying that they've been asked to ask Candace Owens not to speak about Brigitte Macron being transgender. Apparently, that was a big thing that Candace Owens was speaking about not that long ago, saying, let's uncover the truth about Brigitte Macron supposedly being a man. Personally, I don't care. But what I do care about is the fact that Brigitte Macron groomed, what it seems like, groomed Emmanuel Macron and basically committed a crime by the looks of things, if that is in fact the reality of the situation, right? But that's, anyway, Candace Owens pretty much apparently stood her ground, and we don't really have any documentation to go off. We've just got her story to believe. And if it's one thing that we know that we can rely on, it's Candace Owens's word. And a provocative title saying, I've been keeping a secret for a very long time. And guess what? And she also, in the episode, she went into Frankism in France. You can go and check out the episode if you want, but I guarantee you, my friends, you're not going to come away with anything relatively new at all. And my goodness me, were people lapping up Candace Owens's show. They were like leaving comments. One person was saying that threatening Candace Owens is like killing John Wick's dog and then expecting that Candace Owens won't retaliate. That was one such comment, believe it or not. Now, if it's one thing that we know about Candace of late, she's completely and utterly lost the plot. She says things because she can say them, and because they're rather provocative. She knows she's got the ears and attention of many, many people. And I mean, over the weekend, she was saying that she had concrete evidence and concrete proof that people had been paid by Jewish organizations to say anti-Candace and anti-Tucker things. And I'm going, hang on a minute, I wasn't paid a dime. Like, I've been doing it for free. But she doesn't seem to really care about that at all. And by the way, there's a video that Nathan Livingston of Milk Bar TV shared that went relatively viral. Constantine Kissin actually made a comment about it, of how Candace Owens began her career, ladies and gentlemen. She began her career with a doxing website that included young kids. Have a watch of this.
Hey guys, it is Candace Owens, the founder of socialautopsy.com. There are literally thousands of instances of hate speech being circulated online. The age of technology and social media has slowly disintegrated individual accountability, the consequences of which are devastating. Introducing Social Autopsy, the first ever search database that compiles and allows the public to easily access the digital footprint of individuals and companies. Our team has crawled through the public interfaces of Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, creating real profiles for the individuals that lob hate speech over the web. These individuals are your teachers, doctors, neighbors, and business owners, and for the first time ever, you will be given the chance to run a real background check on them to see what these people represent behind closed doors. Let me show you how it works. Plug in the name of any person, company, or organization. Our database will return any number of profile hits, which can then be narrowed down by city and state. When you've located a user, you will be brought to their autopsy report, which will consist of real screenshots of words that they have shared across social media platforms. Have someone that you'd like to add to our morgue? Submit them. Our database is continually grown by anonymous submissions from individuals like you. Because why engage in an online back-forth argument with friends over insulting statuses and comments when you can instead screenshot their harsh words and privately submit them to our database? We exist as a clean archive of an individual's words only, from which employers, friends, and universities alike may draw their own conclusions. What about minors. We are seeing a lot of people that are showing concern for minors. We stand by the fact that we think the best time to be on our database is when you are a minor, because that's exactly what we're trying to do. We are trying to affect their, conscious when they're young, so they know to use the internet more responsibly when they're older. There's no harm, no foul, really, if you're a minor, right? You have this profile for 365 days. You're not applying to college. You're not, going out for a job. It doesn't do anything to affect your livelihood in any way. So we think that that's really honestly the best time for people to learn. How long do profiles last? Good question. Profiles last for 365 days. After a 1-year span, if the user that has been submitted hasn't done anything else, hasn't really said anything that's bad, we totally believe in forgiveness and second chances, and we will drop their name from our database forever.
Simply put, social autopsy is your digital footprint. So be mindful of the words that you share.
Have someone you want to add to our morgue. Basically, this was created in 2016. Social autopsy was designed to catalog online hate speech. And if anyone was engaging in online hate speech, you basically would make a submission. Even if you were a kid, kids are still able to be doxxed, apparently, or like anyone can be doxxed on this website. You put in their details, all the information, you name it, and it doesn't matter who you are. You can see all of the information, date of birth, where they live, you name it, and what they've been saying online. So this is how Candace Owens, relatively speaking, got her beginning. And everything just started to change. Obviously, people started to know, they didn't know Candace Owens with her social autopsy gig, which came out, but people started to know more about her when she became obviously more notable on PragerU and obviously with Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk over there. But here's the difference, right? Let me show you what's happened to Candace Owens over the years. And this is thanks to Milk Bar TV of Nathan Livingston. You can go and check him out. He's put together a great video showcasing what's happened to Candace Owens. So we know Candace Owens blames everything on the Jews. So here is her in the very beginning of the clip saying that everyone seems to blame everything on the Jews. And guess what? She does not long after that. Have a watch.
Usually the narrative, especially when you're talking about the Middle East, it seems that all of the blame, they always want to blame Israel, no matter what. The strangest things, anything could happen. It could not rain for 3 days, and it's curse Israel, the Israel state, the IDF. They've brought about all of this.
I think this is the reason why we don't get to open the Epstein files, we don't get to open the JFK files. Parking aside America, other countries too. You investigate anything. I mean, I'm investigating Brigitte Macron, and Israeli blackmail comes up in Morocco.
The Frankists were behind the French Revolution. The Frankists were behind the Russian Revolution. Okay, it was the Frankists who believed in this, who orchestrated wanting to bring down Christian empires. And it is the Frankists who are bringing down America.
Quote, the only reason that Jews are in pornography is that we think that Christ sucks. Catholicism sucks. We don't believe in authoritarianism. Pornography thus becomes a way of defiling Christian culture, and as it penetrates to the very heart of the American mainstream, and is no doubt consumed by those very same wasps, its subversive character becomes more charged, end quote. It's like, take it to the bank. We created because we hate Christ. And it's on Wikipedia. This is not like a conspiracy theory.
What if that is what is happening right now in Hollywood, if there is just a very small ring of specific people who are using the fact that they are Jewish to shield themselves from any criticism? It's food for thought, right? And I think, again, there have been enough people that are speaking out about a ring in Hollywood, also a ring potentially in DC.
Okay, the ADL was established by Frankists, Leo Frank.
He was Jewish at the time of the Nazi Party. He was a doctor, an OBGYN. His name is Ernst Grafenberg. Heard of the G-spot? Yeah, that's named after him, the Grafenberg spot, so to speak. And he also developed a form of contraception called the Grafenberg ring. Today, the IUD, world's first IUD, was created by him. Why on earth would the Nazi Party agree to allow a Jewish man to get out of prison early? Well, guess who bailed him out? Margaret Sanger. Margaret Sanger bailed him out, brought him to America to open her first birth control clinic. How on earth she pulled that off?
So yes, Michael Jackson's estate was transferred over to specific individuals who happened to be Jewish. So what do we make of all of this? What do we make of all this? What do you think about all of this? Well, I'm going to be honest with you that these claims keep coming up too often in Hollywood for me to be comfortable with it, right? We saw this, obviously, it's not just now the Diddy lawsuit, it's not just now Michael Jackson. We also have seen these claims with Kanye West, notoriously, obviously, when he tweeted out, "I'm about to go DEFCON 3 on some Jews."
Sigmund Freud was the kingdom of Galicia. His family's from, he's a Galician Jew. And they come over to America. And kind of the story that we're told is, oh, everyone just came with the clothes in their back and then like made it big in Hollywood or made it big in modern psychology. And I'm like, no, America was a young country. We were very like susceptible to all of these things that, like you just said, that we didn't understand, like what's happened in this country, because we all recognize that something's not right. And a huge piece of this is psychology. What is the modern media? What was MK Ultra? Why did the CIA invest in journalists? It's all about controlling our minds. They are essentially, and this is Sigmund Freud was a Kabbalist, and they believe in bisexuality. They worship Baphomet. They are trying to use psychology to introduce, and I read this in a book by a Jewish historian, David Bacon, to make their religion the religion of the world,
Yes.
right? Which is a centric religion that believes in demons, it believes in child sacrifice, and it is the reason that we have the circumstances that we are in today.
We're not allowed to ask questions about JFK's shooting or the USS Liberty. Yeah. And they were like, we must have an October 7th Day of Remembrance in school. Kids must learn about this in school. And we can't get one for the USS Liberty. Okay, that means your nation is being held hostage by a foreign power. Yeah.
It's for Israel. Like, it feels like Netanyahu is running the White House and Trump's just signing and doing whatever they say.
That all of the blame, they always want to blame Israel, no matter what. The strangest things, anything could happen. It could not rain for 3 days, and it's curse Israel.
It is shocking to me how when I'm not even trying to look into Israel, they pop up in everything I investigate.
It seems like Candace's anti-Jew rhetoric began when she was with the Daily Wire. It seems like she started going off the rails a little bit, and people can sort of piece together why she parted ways with the Daily Wire. I think it was because of how crazy she was really getting, and she was starting to say some very questionable things. And, well, the Daily Wire were like, no, you can't be saying this sort of stuff because it's not true. Holds no basis in reality whatsoever. You're making this stuff up. And Candace, on the other hand, was just going, no, I'm not. I believe this is right, because she continued to go down this incredibly crazy path not long after she left the Daily Wire. Loads of people were going, well, the Daily Wire has lost a big person. You know, why would they let her go? The Daily Wire is doing just fine. I'll have you know. People were saying, like Ian Carroll and Andrew Tate and many others were saying the Daily Wire is going to go bankrupt. Obviously, Jeremy Boring also left. Things have been changing relatively in the Daily Wire structure. Now, I don't know anything about what's going on in the Daily Wire, but all I can see is what has been going on. Brett Cooper left. Now she's with Fox News. Interesting, isn't it? So now Candace Owens is on this complete and utter tear with blaming Jews for quite literally everything. Why? What benefit does it for her? You know what? It seems like Candace Owens has created a new audience for herself, pro-Muslim, and also a bunch of these Catholics that believe in the replacement theory. There's loads of them out there, believe you me. There's also loads of Muslims, loads of pro-Palestinian, and she'll do it under the guise of, oh, you can't question Israel. No one's saying that at all. You can question Israel. But to Candace, she has this, I think, screw loose, a couple of them actually, that she blames Israel for literally everything. And then also in her latest episode, blaming the Frankists in France. So the Frankists have their footprints everywhere by the looks of things. If people were to do even just a quick Google search on half the stuff that Candace Owens is claiming, you'll pretty much find out that a lot of it is nonsense and garbage. But let Candace Owens do whatever she wants, right? Because she's not going to stop. Just because someone tells her to stop doesn't mean she's going to stop. She's narcissistic. She's proud. She's psychopathic in nature. It's by the looks of things. Look at it. She recently went on the Jubilee Surrounded series talking about feminism. It's an interesting debate. I'll have that. Like, it's very, very interesting how Candace Owens handles a lot of those people. But you can tell in her behavior, it's very, very defensive. Very defensive. It's like that's her style of debating. It's like, I'm right, you're wrong. She did the same thing with Joe Rogan. It's quite clear, right? And anyway, so thank you to Nathan Livingston for creating those videos. And again, she believes the Jews are responsible for pornography and destroying the world like that. So everything is the Jews' fault, apparently, guys. Yeah, small, tiny nation. Jews are responsible for everything bad in society. That is according to Candace Owens. What a fall from grace. Anyway, hopefully that's the last video I'll be making of Candace for a while, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.